to get this daily candle within the next 9.5 hours, hold above basically 2,000. Like we got to get above 2,000. We also look at this previous peak here. We're currently above this. This has got to hold. We got to hold this as support. Super, super price reactive range. Look, we can see here, this previous peak, super relevant. Over here, nice base as well. So we got to get above this range. We got to get it back above 2,000 if ETH wants to look bullish again. ETH below 2,000 is an ETH that's muy no bueno.
Yeah, I agree, man. And again, someone here is commenting there's no point looking at alts when Bitcoin is dumping. Nikki show. So
yeah.
Definitely.
No,
we agree.
I agree, but like we look at alts to like identify the relevant price levels specific to each altcoin. We do agree, yeah, Bitcoin is fully leading the market right now. But again, it's just good to know what relevant price levels are like per the altcoin, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Bitcoin's leading the market. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, again, man, same thing. We're not gonna get too much into it, but again, just like we're saying, Bitcoin is leading the market, and all these altcoins, including Ethereum, are at very critical levels as well. Bitcoin is at 30K, trying to survive. Ethereum is at the 2K, trying to survive. We're hitting the 2K since the beginning of the year, since February, trying to push against the 2K. Got all the way up to the 45, and now we're at, now we're at a what? What do we have here? 50, 59, 56? Yeah, 56% movement there. So, yeah. 2K, nothing crazy. This is your market update. I guess a lot of sell volume you're seeing here on the 4 hours. So the past 4 hours, the past 8 hours have been very bearish. We're seeing that happen even after we've been upticking in terms of the MACD over here. Still, we're not really we haven't been successful moving past the positive momentum. And again, RSI has been struggling to move upwards, and stochastic RSI came back in. So it's just the mid time frame for 4 hour. And even on the 4 hour, we're at the 200 EMA, man. Trying to respect it, but it's just not really happening. We just had a bit of a bounce. But again, very, very, very critical point for the whole crypto space, man. This week is extremely important, and specifically as well for Ethereum.
Oh man, this week's everything. And folks, look, ETH is like a leading indicator for the altcoin market, for DeFi, for altcoins. If ETH's healthy, the alts are healthy. If ETH's unhealthy, then the alts are unhealthy. So as soon as we see Ethereum start to stabilize, start to recover a bit, that's our cue that these alts have kind of like the minimum needed for an altcoin recovery. So again, ETH is super, super critical. It's a leader. It's a leading indicator for the altcoin market. So we need to get ETH needs to get above 2,000. It then needs to get above 2,100, and then needs to get above $2,250. So
bro, when's ETH
tons of resistance.
When is ETH gonna flip Bitcoin? Can we have that soon? Is that gonna happen
look, man.
Soon?
Look, if the bull run continues, I think near the end, ETH could flip Bitcoin, because what happened in the previous cycles is Bitcoin peaked out first and then ETH. And look, with EIP 1559 coming this next month, I think. Look, man, I mean, end of the cycle. If not, I think next cycle 2025 is when ETH flips Bitcoin. Looking at a scalable deflationary ETH, man, it's just a matter of time before that thing beats out Bitcoin.
It is. And guess what? If Ethereum actually does flip Bitcoin, and now Ethereum is the face of the market, let's just say, hypothetically, that's going to lead a lot of these other altcoins to kind of decouple. If Ethereum decouples from Bitcoin, VeChain's decoupling, Matic is the decoupling, Solana, all these different altcoins will decouple, in my opinion, right? So
I think they have a better shot. Yeah, and you got to think about this way too. What has a better chance of surviving long term? A scalable, deflationary,
highly secure
crypto with utility against Bitcoin, which is dirty, has no utility, and is proof of work. That's another thing I want to bring up. If ETH's proof of stake, scalable, greener, has utility, it's gonna become deflationary. It's just a bet on Ethereum is a bet that cryptocurrency will have more and more use case moving forward.
Yeah.
Because look, Bitcoin is look, when you hear these people talk about Bitcoin and all the reasons they mention why Bitcoin's good, that's all true and valid. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is digital gold. It's digital gold. It's going to keep going up. That's all well and great. But ETH is the thing that brings utility to this market, smart contracts. And so, look, if it becomes, again, deflationary, scalable, it's proof of work, then, like, man, I don't know. That recipe looks like a recipe to me that eventually beats out Bitcoin in terms of market.
There we go.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have an alt season, man?
Oh, we're testing 2000. I think we're gonna have an alt season. Actually, that's a very good question. So look, guys, I want to share with you something I've been mentioning on the live streams on my end here, and you let me know what you think here, man. But in terms of gauging an alt season, I think I know exactly what we need to look out for, which is Bitcoin dominance. So, whether the market crashes or Bitcoin recovers, either way, I think it's likely that Bitcoin dominance will rise. And so whenever Bitcoin dominance finds resistance and starts to reverse and puts in lower highs and lower lows, at that point, that's when alts start to take off. This is what we got to look out for alts here. Rejection of resistance and then signs of reversal. That's what we got to look out for. At that point, we can be confident that that Bitcoin dominance could fall to these lower levels for the previous cycle. As well, I do believe that Bitcoin dominance has a good chance this cycle of putting in a lower low because there's more altcoins this cycle than last and more utility for those altcoins, and therefore more value is likely to be in those altcoins in comparison to last cycle. So I do think that putting in a lower low in Bitcoin dominance is relevant to the cycle. And in terms of when altcoin season starts and when to sell off, I think altcoin season starts is when we find rejection and reversal over here. And I think altcoin season ends once we put in a lower low. And I'm actually going to be taking profits, looking to take up profits if the bull run continues once we put in a lower low below these regions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now, if you actually look at Bitcoin dominance, right, and we are at some sort of resistance, and we look at ETH, for example, ETH has been rising in terms of dominance, while Bitcoin was going down, obviously, it's inversely proportional. Whatever eats up more market cap, that percentage distribution in terms of market cap is going to go to whatever's getting higher. But overall, too, because we can flip it what I think could happen is that we can flip it even with low market caps too. Like if majority of the market is actually selling Bitcoin, and we continue to see some sort of sell off. And all of a sudden, now let's say Bitcoin's at whatever. What are we at sitting in terms of 45%, and right now ETH is at 17%. Which at one point, if maybe we took, let's just take beginning of the year here. Let's just take, if we're talking about January levels, Ethereum was at 11%, and if we look at Bitcoin at the January levels here, what do we have? I'm going way past it. December, January, and Bitcoin was at 70, right? Now we're looking at Bitcoin at 45, right? So Bitcoin's at 45 and Ethereum at 17. So Ethereum is still, going up in terms of dominance. Bitcoin just completely is dropping right now. Obviously, there's some sort of resistance, but then again, you're right, man. Like, if we do see that happen, we also need to keep in mind that we also need to understand what's happening with the market cap, because this is just the factor. It's just the distribution of what's happening. How much Bitcoin, how much market cap, how much dollars in Bitcoin, how much dollars is in Ethereum. But then again, these levels were at 2 trillion dollars, and now we're at. Do you know what the total is right now? I actually didn't even check. On CoinGecko.
Very good question. I can look it up. If you want to keep going, I'll look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, so we need to understand that we can flip it, but even on very low market cap. I saw right now 1.4 trillion market cap. We're at these higher levels at 2 point some. So, at lower levels, we have a lot that can flip, right? When we have lower market cap and crypto, Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum dominance can really flippity flop, I guess, in terms of what the distribution is. So. Yeah, man. Again, Ethereum did good this cycle. If we're just looking up to the year to date, Ethereum did great, 17%, when Bitcoin was just completely dropping since January, man, which is good to see. I hate seeing this market just falling with Bitcoin, just riding the wave, regardless of fundamentals. And I really hope Ethereum at one point does flip it, man.
I hope so, man. But we've never seen it, so I think until we see it. I don't want to get my hopes up, right? Like until we see evidence of decoupling from Bitcoin, I
Yeah.
will proceed on the assumption that we will still, the market will still be led by Bitcoin because it's what's always happened.
Yeah.
And so again, different places measure it slightly differently, but according to TradingView here, market cap is currently 1.34 trillion. We are seemingly breaking down bearishly from this wedge pattern, which is super bearish. That's bearish confirmation. Now we still put in this higher low, and the key factor is maintaining these higher lows. If we put in, again, lower lows is the key thing, folks. Again, these regions here. Wow, that's very messy, but hopefully it's getting across the point, which is rejection should be anticipated. The concerning thing is lower lows, because lower lows is bearish confirmation. So that is muy no bueno. That is what we don't want to see. Looking at Ethereum, Bitcoin, we are sitting on support, so there is kind of some hope that if, as long as the ETH Bitcoin pairing can hold the line here, that maybe most of the dumpiness is over for the moment, but we'll see. It's just one factor. As well, the Ethereum dominance, very, very interesting here, is correcting as anticipated, as we've been talking about for weeks at this point. And so the question is, will ETH dominance hold the line here at the previous high, or will we fall back down further to retest this thing? Ultimately, if the bull run continues, I think ETH dominance is probably going to end up looking something like this, where we come back down, come back up here, come back down, and come back up. And so, because that's exactly what's been happening the entire cycle. And so, folks, again, we never just go in a straight line up or down forever. We zigzag, we have ebbs and flows. And so, if Bitcoin holds the line here, again, man, I think a little bit of a relief rally is relevant. And look, we've been saying this for days and weeks, right? Like, we've been saying a relief rally to retest some prior resistance is very realistic. Again, in the short term, we're looking super weak, super precarious. But again, I think there's some signs of some bullish divergence. 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour. We're seeing that bullish divergence. We're seeing lower lows and higher lows in our size. So, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, those are pretty much all my thoughts of the
There we
moment.
go. Same thing with me, man. This is pretty much it